All right, for today's video review, we're going to be taking a look at BotBots Series 6 Sergeant SCRUBFORCE from the Custodial crew. Sergeant SCRUBFORCE here obviously turns into a little bucket and mop. This was a character that also did show up in the BotBots show on Netflix, although the toy and the character design are quite different from each other. Like in the show, he's primarily green, and they've got somewhat similar facial expressions once we get to robot mode, but ultimately it's pretty inaccurate to what they looked like in the show. But yeah, it's an all right bucket and mop mode. I would say that the one thing about it is that I kind of wish that they had picked out the, the actual mop section in a different color of paint to just kind of differentiate it from the gray of the bucket. But, I think it works relatively well. It's not an unrealistic color for a mop, to be. It's just a little bit weird because it's like, oh yeah, that's visibly the same as the actual bucket. But, what can you do? You can adjust the little handle here a little bit, and that's, all you've really got for this mode. It's pretty basic, but it gets the job done. In terms of transformation, first thing you want to do is take this panel here and kind of rotate it out about that much, and then it actually slides out a little bit, which gives it the clearance to fold down the rest of the way to reveal the face and the body there. Then you take this section here where the handle of the mop kind of connects to the like main body of it, and you actually pull these out a little bit to kind of extend out the arms, which it's a little weird that this is part of transformation because you are actively like warping the handle of the mop when you do that. Like, it's fine, it's not a huge difference, but it's just like a little bit strange that that's part of the transformation. And then, yes, unfortunately, this is another one of the BotBots from the 8-packs in Series 6 that you just kind of can't fully transform without the use of a tool, because the way that the feet are stuck in here, it's just like they're really tight in there. And like, I'm sure I could wiggle it back and forth for a while and get it out, but it's just really stuck in there and annoying. So I usually just take a little tool and, pull them out. Because like, honestly, it's not even that tight in there. It's just literally that the shape of the feet are tight enough into this, like the cavity that they sit in. Whereas usually when it's too tight, it's because the actual, sliding mechanism is too tight. So yeah, really annoying. But yeah, there we have Sergeant SCRUBFORCE in his robot mode. And then this is another one that does use an actual accessory, because you can take the handle of the mop here and unplug it from the main section of the mop, and it becomes a little like nightstick, which is pretty cool because he's got a little like cop aesthetic, which again, he kind of did in the show too. I mean, it was definitely more of like a sergeant, like a general, like an army sergeant in the show, whereas he's more of like a police sergeant here. But at least he had like the glasses and a mustache, if not the same mustache. So it's not too different, but not exactly the same either. But yeah, no, I really like the robot mode. I think it's really cute. They've got a nice amount of painted detail here on this BotBot, which is really nice because I feel like that's something that's generally been lacking quite a bit in Series 6. But I like how they've got, several different colors picking out the actual facial expression here, which is nice. In terms of articulation, you just kind of rotate the arms up and down, and that's really about it. But, you weren't really expecting a whole lot from a BotBot anyway. But yeah, no, he's a nice little BotBot. I'd say robot mode, it's kind of teetering between a 4 and a 5 for me. Yeah, I think I'll give it a 5. I think that's fair, just because I do like the whole sort of aesthetic here. Like, it doesn't have any crazy, like, super expressive facial expressions or anything like that, but, you can clearly tell the vibe here, and I think it's doing what it's trying to get across. Alt mode, also the same, kind of teetering between a 3 and a 4. I guess since I, gave the benefit to the robot mode of giving it the 5, I'll give the alt mode the 3, just because, it's a little bit boring. I think it's adequate. You can tell what it's supposed to be. It's just, lacking a little bit of panache, and I think that maybe even just picking out the mop section in like a tan color or something could have helped a lot with that. But, otherwise, not that exciting, but nothing really wrong with it. And then transformation, I am just going to give a 1 out of 5, just because you can't do it unless you use a tool or just rip your fingernails off. And like, again, just did not have to be that way, but it was. So yeah, that really sucks. And it's really annoying because, like, especially like BotBots, you pick them up to be like little fidget toys. And then if you pick one up and you can't like pull sections out of it, it really, really sucks. And I just feel like the tolerances in general with a lot of the pet mob and custodial crew are just needed another pass in the design process, and they would have been just totally fixed up, but they didn't prioritize that. So yeah, whatever, which is a shame because otherwise I do like both modes for this BotBot. But yeah, if you want to pick up Sergeant SCRUBFORCE, he is available only in one of the 2 8-packs for the Custodial Crew in Series 6. That's the only way to get him. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to him. That's so what was that? That was a 5, a 3, and a 1. That is going to give him an ultimate score of 9 out of 15, which makes him a 2-star BotBot. So, not terrible, just could have been a lot better, and, probably would have been a 3 or, even well, no, not potentially a 4. It would have been a 3-star BotBot if it just, had an adequate transformation. But alas, that it is what it is. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to him. If you enjoy my videos, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing. I do reviews every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Make sure to check me out on my Instagram account. That's toys.n.art. And without further ado, here we have BotBots Series 6, Sergeant SCRUBFORCE.